Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Friday edition of the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott, on this very cold, very rainy Friday here in Toronto. And if you are new to the Secrets of a Witch podcast, this is where I talk a lot about life, love, healing, witchcraft, magic, spirituality, tarot, feminine energy, mediumship, and everything in between. And in today's podcast episode, I actually wanted to touch on some things that came up in my Instagram live I did just briefly this morning as I was sipping my coffee, starting the day, and pulling a few cards for myself, and also kind of in honor of my Tarot Without Bullshit online course and group coaching program relaunching next Tuesday, the 24th. And I'm really, really excited about this because I've been running Tarot Without Bullshit since 2019, which is like a pretty long time. And I've been able to help so many people transform their relationship to tarot during this time, which makes me so happy. And I've often re-released the course as available for like a self-study kind of component, but it's been a while since I've opened up the course to group coaching and having group coaching mentorship sessions around the tarot. And so I'm really excited about doing that again because helping people get better at tarot and help themselves through tarot is definitely one of my passions. And so I'm just really, really stoked. And so keep your eyes peeled, keep that in your calendar. You'll be able to enroll until Halloween, which is exciting. I am excited about it all. 'Tis the season of tarot cards and mediumship as far as I'm concerned. And oh yeah, I guess I should probably plug my 2 workshops that are being held at the end of the month. The Ancestor Magic Masterclass and the Tarot for Mediumship Masterclass. So if you're interested in any of those topics, there will be links to enroll in the description of this episode, and you'll be able to hear a bit about what all those workshops and masterclass type of vibe is about in some previous episodes. If you haven't listened to that, just like scroll on back in your podcast app situation and give those a listen if you're curious what the hell it is I am talking about with that. But anyway, on to today's topic, which is why it's important to read your tarot cards every day. So this is actually something that I haven't done in a really long time, except I started recently to do again because I wanted to start using my card of the day tarot journal and just see how I liked the journal, right? Like if I'm going to sell this journal, I really want to make sure that I actually like it and it's actually useful. And I didn't actually expect to love it as much as I do. Like I literally write in it every single day pretty much. Like there might be a day or two that I skip, like maybe I get busy or just like, I don't know, have stuff going on or I'm just tired. Like that happens to everybody. But I do pull cards as kind of the beginning part of my morning almost every single day. Like the only time that I don't is if I've got like an immediate meeting or I have to rush out the door at the crack of dawn or something like that. And otherwise it's the start of my day. Like it's become as automatic to me as going out the door to get a coffee. I cannot start my day without a coffee personally. I don't know about y'all, but it's important. And it's so interesting because one of the reasons why I think reading tarot every day is so important is it can help the cards come down to earth a bit, right? Because like if you only are reading cards during crisis moments, or you're only reading cards when you're stressed out about your relationship or your job, or you're not sure if you're going to have a divorce, or I don't know, craziness going on, like hectic insanity. Like I think that's a really good time to read cards. Absolutely. Like I do recommend that everyone reads cards in times of crisis. I think it can be really grounding and clarifying. At the same time, I don't recommend that you begin to hone your tarot skills only reading your cards in times of crisis, because let's say you're in a time of crisis and you pull the Death card, or you pull the Tower card, or you pull the Nine of Swords or the Ten of Swords. Like, those cards are all pretty unpleasant. Like, obviously there's some benefits to all of them, but if you are already in a heightened sense of stress due to all you're going through, whatever that happens to be, you're going to always associate those cards with like end of the world, deeply stressful energy. And when you pull those in a day-to-day situation, you'll probably kind of create some unnecessary stress in your life. Like, you'll just start to get stressed out about things you don't need to get stressed about. But when you pull tarot every day, like, some of those crazy cards will come up on like a normal Tuesday or a normal Friday where there's no drama, nothing's really going on, and yet you pull the Tower at the beginning of the day. And so at first, that's going to stress people out, probably, right? But if you read tarot every day with like this card of the day practice that I've outlined in my card of the day tarot journal, some of those crazy cards, like, you'll be able to understand the ways that their energies present in different ways. You'll start to understand the different faces of each and every one of these cards. Because the Tower is not just like you're getting a divorce, you're losing your job, you're getting kicked out of your house. Like, it's not just those big crazy things. There's also these shifts that can happen on a more subtle level. It doesn't all have to be this kind of seismic, tectonic, like tsunami energy. The Tower can massage itself into a normal Tuesday in a totally different way. And that's part of why pulling cards on just normal days when nothing crazy is really on your radar can be a really important thing to do for our growth as tarot readers. Because it can be really grounding, and it can also teach us to not be afraid of the tarot. And it can also teach us, again, those different faces of the more intense cards. If we're only reading tarot in times of crisis, which again, I think we should read tarot in times of crisis, but when we only are reading tarot in these desperate moments, we actually don't get a full, multifaceted understanding of what these cards are all about and the messages from each and every one of these cards. The energies of these cards can really only be understood when we read them both in hectic times, as well as in normal times when there's like not really any drama to be said. It's like, how do we interpret the Tower on a normal day when there's no drama? You know? And I think that process of like reflection and meditation and getting to know the tarot cards, and that's the name of my other tarot journal, Getting to Know the Cards. Like, when we get to know the cards more deeply, we start to see them as like very, very multifaceted, diverse collections of energies. Like, they each have their own energy, obviously, but it's not just a single note. Like, it's not just one thing. There's a lot of different aspects, right? Oh, and my cute cat is coming to poke me. So if you guys hear any meows, it's Joya breathing into the phone as I record this. And so when we are able to read the tarot, and I think we're all able, it's just a question of priorities, right? It's like, do we make the time to read the tarot every single day? Or do we not prioritize, excuse me, that area of our growth? When we pull cards daily, and take note of it, preferably in the card of the day tarot journal I released, then we get to actually see how these different energies are showing up in our lives on a consistent, daily, mundane basis. When we're only reading cards in times of craziness, our interpretations of the cards and our understandings of what the cards mean often gets a little bit distorted. And when that happens, it's really easy to sink into paranoia, worry, anxiety, like just overthinking, stressing, all of this stuff. And that becomes a lot less common when we get into the habit of, let's say, and I know I keep using this example, but pulling the tower on a regular Tuesday. When we see that we can pull that card on a Tuesday and it can mean something other than your life is ending, then we have a better understanding of what the cards all actually are about. And I really do recommend that. And I'm really big on just intuitively reading the cards. I'm really big on looking at what the card actually looks like in front of your face and taking your messages and cues from what you see in the card itself. And that's how I teach in my Tarot Without Bullshit course. Like, that is really what I believe the best way to learning tarot is. I explain all of that in my course, which is launching again on Tuesday. Super exciting. And so I'm really curious. I'm going to do a poll for this podcast episode. I think it's only available on Spotify. I'm really not sure, but I'll do a poll. And so if you are listening to this on Spotify, I'm really curious. Do you read your cards every single day or close to it? Let me know. And if you are on Instagram, feel free to send me a message on there. And I'm curious, like, what is your relationship to your cards? How often do you read? And if anyone is listening to this and you're kind of curious to talk to me a little bit about if my Tarot Without Bullshit online course and group coaching program might be a good fit for you, feel free just to reach out and just let me know, like, where are you at in your tarot practice? What are the things that you struggle the most with? I know for a lot of people that tends to be court cards and reversals and spreads to some extent as well. And then otherwise, one of the things I hear most from folks is that they struggle a lot with discerning the difference between their intuition and their mental health stuff, whether that's anxiety, depression, like irrational fears, paranoias, whatever else. And so I do cover all of that in my course. But again, just reach out to me. I want to know what problems you're grappling with. I want to know what you're struggling with. And I like to see if there's a way that I can help. As always, you can find me on Instagram, sabrinamscott.com. And you can find my website, sabrinamscott.com. It is hoodie season, and I don't know about you guys, but I am whipping out my hoodies these days. Shop sabrinamscott.com. One of my favorites has the cover for my second book, Curse and Cure. Very witchy vibes, holding a sickle in a forest. Very, very fun. Or I also love my hoodies with the embroidery saying Empress, which I actually keep pulling a lot in my tarot readings for myself these days, or abundance mindset. I think that's it. Oh yeah, on YouTube. Say hi to me on YouTube, you guys. If you haven't listened to the tarot reading for this particular week, do go listen to that. Do go watch that. It's basically valid until Monday, so there'll be a new one on Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So go check that out. My YouTube is youtube.com/Sabrina Scott. And I actually just did a really cool conversation on there with the Tarot Shrink, and we just had a really amazing convo on her channel. She was kind enough to allow me to repost that video over on mine. So do go check that out. Super interesting conversation. She's super awesome. And it's kind of inspired me. I'm thinking about maybe I should do some conversations on my own channel. I think that could be really interesting. Anyway, that's it for now from me. Have a lovely weekend, my friends. Much love. Bye.